Hey guys, what's good? This is Andre and today I want to go over a couple of stock picks with you guys. I want to look at WTI and then I want to look at a couple of Forex pairs. Guys, before we jump in, thank you so much for all of your feedback lately. All of your likes truly help my channel, being a small channel. Every single one of you guys that hits that like button truly helps me out a ton. Now, let's look at some picks, guys, because I just tweeted this out earlier today. We made an absolute killing on sugar. Congrats to all of our Patreons that have caught this. We called it out at $26 right near the tops. For a couple of days it kept seeming like we would be stopped out, but lo and behold we moved so much lower here. Earlier today we were at 22.8, and guys, I just want to say, don't be greedy, please take profits. It's not worth risking everything that we've made so far for just a little bit extra. It could go down to $22, maybe it could go down to even 21.7, but again, as I said a bit earlier, I am not willing to take the risk. We've moved down aggressively here. I think you should be taking profit. So now, in case you guys missed out on the sugar trade and weren't our Patreons, guys, you can still get in for just $5 a month up until the end of this week. We are sunsetting this tier. It's not going to be available anymore. Obviously, the regular $50 tier gives you a lot more access and you will get a lot more trade ideas. But you guys check that out. Let me know if you have any questions for me. Guys, let's take a look at a couple of other things that we took profits on. So we had bear put spreads on JP Morgan and we took profit on half of the move here because we moved aggressively lower throughout the last couple of days here. We still have half of the move left and we are waiting for it, and as you guys can see, I sent this out as a shares setup as well, but we actually took an option setup as well. So when we send out these types of ideas, we try our best to cover a wide array of different strategies so that you can pick whatever works best for you specifically. We did the same with Amgen actually, where we took it short from 230 bucks and we already closed out 3/4 of what we had in terms of options plays here. We still have a little bit left in case we break through this trend line here and head lower. We would probably make over 250% on that one trade, but we made over 100% on 3 different contracts. Same with JP Morgan. We're just making a killing this week. Let's move on, guys. I want to look at WTI. So for WTI, I kept telling you guys a couple of weeks back that I don't like it. I remember that I was being asked whether or not it's a good idea to long it from around here where I have this initial red arrow drawn in here. And I told you guys I don't like it from there. Thankfully, I stayed out. I just entered the long earlier today from the bottom of this trend line. I think it's a really good place to be. Obviously, I would probably long it if I were you, kind of knowing that it's very likely for us to retest $63 as well, and willing to add more once we get there, and willing to have my stop loss lower down, which is quite expensive if I'm being completely honest. But let's see, maybe we get a really fast spike up from here. Actually, I think we've made 1.5% up in the last 30 minutes or something, so maybe there's something brewing here. Moving on, guys, I want to take a look at Tesla. So we shorted Tesla from the break of this trend line over here, as you guys can see. And if you're gonna check out my earlier videos on the channel, you're gonna see that I spoke about wanting to see a trend line break on Tesla. We got it. We got a retest as well, and then we moved lower. We've officially made a lower low and we are now making a higher low. Let's see how Tesla trades later today. We have put options. And then with Disney, guys, we actually have bull call spreads. I also, as I was telling you a bit earlier, I also send it as a shares signal, just in case some of you guys want to take shares instead of options. But I still think that options are the better play for some of these setups because we don't need for the stock to move so much to make just as much, if not more, through the options. So that's why we're sending both of those out. The next setup that I want to look at here, guys, would be the USD against the South African Rand. We had this very clear trend line here that I called out earlier in my videos. then we moved up aggressively from it. I have drawn this Fibonacci level. We retraced back to the 0.5 fib, as you can see. So let me take this off now so that you can have a clearer view. I think we've made a lower high here, and we are about to move higher and make a higher low. I would say that the next kind of threshold for a bit of a resistance would be in this range, but ultimately I am looking for a retest of highs, if not a higher high even. The next and last one that I want to cover with you today would be USD against the Swiss franc, guys. And as you guys can see, we've had this arrow in here for the longest time. And again, go back through our videos to see if I'm full of it or not. But we broke above this trend line. We traded this entire move from the break of the trend line to this high. Then we waited for a retest. We entered again and we traded it up over here up until roughly 0.90, and now we have added again on a retest of this trend line. The one thing that I'm not too giddy about is that this looks a little bit like a bull, or rather a bear flag. So I hope it doesn't end up being one. I would want for this to burst higher here through the upper trend line that I have just drawn and move further up. What is a little bit kind of concerning is that we are seeing volume diminish throughout this move, but I still think that this could be kind of a lower high that it put in, and hopefully we can break above the $91 range, or the $0.91 range here, so that we can create higher highs, and at that point it's gonna be pretty clear. I think ultimately if we can put in a higher high, we can easily go to 0.94, and then let's see what happens, because there's a lot of demand in this area over here. If you take a look at these gigantic red candles, this is gonna be a lot of demand to try and fight off on a way up. So let's see how that goes, but for now we're not thinking that far ahead. We're just thinking that if we reach 0.94, we're gonna make a killing. So that's what we're focusing on right now. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. If you enjoyed the content, please drop a thumbs up, feel free to subscribe, and I'm gonna catch you guys next time. Take care, have a great day.